Hello and welcome to this episode 43, is it? Or is it 44? 43, I'll say. And apologies if it's 44. Of Seldom Differ's Terrible Features. Now you're hearing my voice before the titles, and that can only mean one thing. We have a guest, and I want to give them a bit of an introduction before the show starts. Because, as you know, this show's about features. We don't go into great detail with the guest on their career, their work, their process. There's other podcasts for that. Other podcasts I'm a massive fan of, but it's not what this podcast is all about. So let me just tell you a little bit about this week's guest, Mr. Luke McQueen. Luke is a comedian, he's a writer, he's an actor. Now, we're huge fans of Luke. It's quite hard to describe Luke's comedy. I'd say he's an incredibly original comedian. There's no one quite like him out there. You never know quite what you're going to get with a Luke McQueen show. He does sort of stand-up, but things are never quite as they seem. Sometimes he'll do sort of stunts or pranks. Like one of the things that went viral a few years ago was Find My Audience, where he basically sold people tickets to a show under the pretense that they were going to see a Frankie Boyle show. And then when he sold out the Pleasance Grand, the biggest venue in Edinburgh, under this pretense, he turned up as Luke McQueen and started doing his very not Frankie Boyle comedy. I feel like I'm not describing this well, but look him up on YouTube. There's loads of clips, such a variety of stuff that he does. And go and see him live when you get the chance, because it'll be unlike any other live experience, I would say. He also had a series on BBC Three called the Luke McQueen Pilots, where he did 3 different pilot episodes, which were all hilarious, and they're definitely worth looking up, although I can't find them currently on the iPlayer, so they might have been taken down, which was, he actually launched a petition to have them removed, which is just one of the crazy kinds of publicity stunts that guy pulls. Unfortunately, this one has worked, and they seem to not be on iPlayer anymore, but maybe you can find them on YouTube, maybe they'll be uploaded at some point. They're definitely worth checking out. He's appeared in Tim Renkow's Jerk. He's appeared in Sara Pascoe's show, Comedians Giving Lectures. He's appeared in ITV2's The Stand-Up Sketch Show. He's done a lot of stuff. And I did get in touch with him just to see if there was anything more imminent that he wanted me to promote on his behalf during this intro. And he just said, nothing to plug really. I genuinely really like Kylie's new disco album. Maybe mention that. So that's what I'm doing. Do check out Kylie's new album. At first I thought it was the genre of music was disco, but actually it's called disco. The album's called Disco. So be sure to check that out. And yeah, we'd never really met Luke before. I'd met him once very briefly, but the other lads, I don't think I'd ever met him in person. So it was really generous of him to give us his time. And he joined us over Zoom from a hotel room in Budapest, where he's quarantining for a small role in Nicolas Cage's new movie, which we do talk about a little bit. Also, really quickly, before we start the episode, we do mention it in the episode, but our merch store, Seldom Differ's Terrible Products, is now open. So I'll put a link to that in the description of the episode. Have a browse and, buy some products maybe. And here's a hot tip. This Friday, so we're releasing this episode on the Wednesday, and on the Friday of this week, hate to do this because I hate the idea of Black Friday, but we are going to do a Black Friday deal if on this Friday or the Saturday or the Sunday, so we're going to run it for 3 days. If you use the offer code Terrible Offer, all caps, then you can get 20% off any product from our shop. So take advantage of that this weekend. Okay, that's enough of this. Enjoy the show.
About the 90s the other day and technology in the 90s, and obviously we've come a long way with technology since the 90s, and my heart went out for burglars when I was thinking about it. Must have been a lot harder to rob a house in the 90s and try and get them big tellies with the big deep backs
True, yeah,
out of a house than like nowadays where you can stick your hand through a letterbox and you can get an iPad and and all kinds of digital.
I suppose the one good
shit.
thing there is that they were built to last back in the day. So if they did rob one of the big tellies, at least it would sort of last them a lifetime. It didn't have this built-in obsolescence that you get these days. Is it obsolescence? Is that the word? You know, when stuff goes out of date, like they build things to fail after a few years. So if that burglar's robbing an iPad, yeah, it's going to fail in a few years. If they rob an old telly, an old fat telly, that's going to last for generations. So that's one thing.
Well, what you could do nowadays, of course, is just get rid of your letterbox, and then they can't steal your iPad. Because who's getting mail anymore? Do you know what I mean?
That's a good point.
That's true. I suppose one of the lessons is maybe don't leave your iPad so close to the letterbox in the first place. But the thing of the stereo system as well.
Yeah.
That was more
Stacks.
a sizable things back then. How the hell did you get into a house and get them out?
You have to break in, don't you?
You'd have to plan ahead a bit more, wouldn't you? You'd have to bring a van. You'd have to bring a glass cutter or something.
That's cat burglars you're thinking of. To steal like a diamond or something, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And which angle would you come into the house at, though?
What do you mean? Maybe
Well,
through
I'm thinking
like
a bathroom window, no chance getting a telly out of there. It's going to have to be a front door job, or what if it's locked?
Or Oliver twist it and send a little street urchin upstairs to get through the open window to come down and let you in.
Oh, yes.
And hope they don't knock over like a big silver tray that rattles around on the floor and then the owners come and set the dogs on you.
Well, that's a good way to rob a house. Thank you, everyone, for coming on down to Seldom Differ's terrible features. That's obviously Sir John Patrick, you can hear there, giving you some solid advice on how to rob a house. And, of course, the unforgettable sounds of good old-fashioned Ryan Howes is here.
Hello. And hello to you at mattskellington.com, the brand.
Thank you very much. And it's a very special show today because we have a very special guest on today's show. We have the one, not the only, but the one, Mr. Luke McQueen. Luke, thanks for coming on the show, mate.
Oh, pleasure. When you were talking at the beginning there, I wasn't sure if you were doing a thing where, because I've not listened to the podcast before, and I thought maybe they're doing a thing where they just talk and they just wait until the guest interrupts them. And like, it was like, I thought about it, I thought this is pretty funny.
Well, you did a shit job, didn't you? No, that's the thing with this show, Luke. You know, it's just anything goes. It's just so
Anything
mad.
could happen in many ways.
Yeah. I had nothing to add, to be fair. I think you covered it, really.
No, I appreciate that. But you're actually in a hotel right now, aren't you, Luke?
Yeah, I'm in a hotel.
Never mind a house.
Would you say you feel safer in a hotel suite than you do in your own house, for example?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the 7th floor, so I think I'm safe. Yeah. And no one, and also I'm in Budapest, there's a curfew here. So from 8 p.m., you're not even allowed outside. If you're outside after 8 p.m., you need to have a letter explaining why you're outside.
Oh, shit.
From your mum or something?
Yeah, from your mum, yes.
Luke's allowed not to do quarantine today because his nan died.
And did I hear you say you're staying in the Ritz? So that must have good security.
I think it's pretty good. I'm staying in the Ritz. Yeah, the only people I've seen for 4 days now is just the people that bring me my food.
Right, okay. So are you actually captive? Are you,
Are you okay? You can blink in Morse code and then we'll know.
I'm actually, I've really enjoyed it. Like I've always felt like I'm okay on my own, but I've really been okay. Like,
yeah,
it's maybe worrying how much I've enjoyed just being totally on my own.
And this is for a big movie role, is that right? That you're quarantining?
Yeah, I am. I'm in a Nicolas Cage film.
Oh,
and Nicolas is doing most of the lines, but I've been given some. They've given me some words.
That's good of them, isn't it?
Yeah, and like if you pull the words together, it does make up a line. So I have a line.
Lovely.
Can I ask a personal question, Luke? Do you say your line to Nicolas?
Do you know what? I thought we were in the same scene. I thought, well, that's really cool. And we are in the same scene, but he's on the phone in a different location.
Oh, no. That's a shame.
No, well.
And is it NDA sort of rude to ask, not allowed to say? Are you allowed to tell us what your line is?
I can't tell us what the line is.
Tell us what the line is.
I won't say what the line is, but what I will tell you is that I've added an ooh.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm going to go, ooh.
Is it a carry-on film you're making?
Well, basically, I've been in the room for 5 days to say one line, so I'm going to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
There's going to be some noises.
Well, it sounds like you're having a lovely time, to be fair, Luke. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit jealous, actually. I think that's what I want to ask you as well. Is it one of them hotels that has people at the door that say hello when you go in, like Asda?
Yeah, it is that. Yeah, just like Asda.
Yeah, greeters. Yeah.
The greeters. And do you stuff cash in their top pocket as you're going past them?
Well, to be honest with you, because they bring me my food and it's all sort of paid for by the production company, obviously. And I think about the third time this lady came and she was really hanging around and like being nice and just sort of hanging around.
Oh, no.
And I was going, oh, God, I'm meant to be tipping these people.
Oh, shit.
But then I was thinking, go see Nicolas Cage, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But there is a service charge on the bill. They're getting like £12 every time they bring me some food.
Wait,
So I
hold
think
on. Are you saying that Nicolas Cage is in the same hotel as you?
yeah, I think he is.
Oh, my Lord.
But you can't see anybody. The hotel's basically shut. Like the restaurant's shut. The spas, they had a really nice rooftop pool. Closed. It was a bit of a shame.
Bloody hell.
So do the staff also isolate at the hotel as well? Or are they going in and out, bringing in potential disease?
No. The staff can go home, but I think it's a weird thing. So after 8 p.m, they need to have a note, obviously, to get home.
Right, of course. Yeah. Weird.
That is, man. Well, speaking of movies and films and stuff like that, I mean, obviously, it sounds like you're an avid film watcher yourself. Has anyone been watching anything of late? Ryan, you been watching anything, reading anything, listening to any albums?
It's really funny. You should ask me, Matthew, because I have. As it happens, I watched a Coen Brothers movie. Pretty
Right, very highbrow.
Pretty brow-wise, pretty high, I'd say.
Yeah.
It was a Coen Brothers movie starring Jeff Bridges and John Goodman about this dude who goes to France and he gets in all kinds of trouble when he decides to have a go on a piece of water sports equipment that's pulled along the water at speed by a very fast water-based vehicle.
Oh, yeah. What was that called, buddy?
It was called The Big Lebowski.
Oh, that does sound good, mate. I must have missed that one myself. Have you seen anything of late, John?
Oh, yeah. I watched quite a different movie, I'd say. I watched a movie starring Sly Stallone. He's sort of like a super soldier back from Vietnam.
Yeah.
And sort of this film is just about a rainstorm that happens. And after the rainstorm, the sun comes out and he looks up into the sky and he sees a big arch of male sheep.
Oh, yeah.
What was that called?
It's called Rambo.
Oh,
That
that does sound good.
does sound.
Even I'm not sure about that one.
No, it sounds good. It sounds brilliant, John.
I'm not sure it does.
What about you, Luke? Have you been watching? I mean, you've been quarantined for days. You must have something on that television of yours and that hotel suite of yours, surely.
Yes, I watched a great film actually, Michael Winterbottom film, and it's really good. It's sort of set in the near future, quite apocalyptic, and basically there's these people in a bunker. They've been down there for years. There's like sort of 5 or 6 different families, and they've run out of all their food apart from baked beans and Brussels sprouts. That's all they got left.
Okay.
What was that called, Luke?
24-hour farty people.
Yes, that
Does sound good.
sound good,
So
Luke.
good.
You have been enjoying yourself. You have been enjoying.
I almost forgot what word it was I was meant to change.
But we've all seen something. We've all seen some very good films. Have you yourself, Matthew? Have
Me,
you seen
little
anything?
old me.
Little old you.
Actually, I did catch something last night. In fact, as
No
it
way.
happens. Yes, it had a female singer from the 90s actually in it. Funnily enough. What was her name? I knew she was in. She sung this song. Yeah, and then then she becomes a woodland mammal and collects rings to stay alive.
What was that called?
It's called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Wow. That does sound good.
It was
does
good,
sound good.
actually, lads. It was
Very good.
It was very, very good. Now, I forgot to mention at the top there, thank you to the listener for downloading yet another episode, unless it's your first. If it is, congratulations. An episode of Seldom Differ's Terrible Features.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
So, Luke, it's great to have you on the show. Now, this is a little bit awkward because we had a feature already lined up called Never Had a Bean Come True, in which we're basically scouring the nation to find the best new Mr. Bean by judging on their Bean impressions.
It's for the reboot of Mr. Bean that they're making. You know.
Yeah. Now, we did have Rowan Atkinson confirmed as a guest to do this for us, but he pulled out last second. But we've got you on now, and we've adapted the jingle slightly. But if you're happy to go ahead with this, we're going to play you some local talent across the UK of Mr. Bean impressions, and we just want you to give your input and choose your favourite one, basically.
Okay, great.
If you're up for it. Should we play the jingle, Ryan?
I've never had a bean come true till the day that I found Luke. Even though Atkinson dropped out, we've got McQueen, and he will find the next Mr. Bean. Never had a bean come true till the day that I found Luke. Even though Atkinson dropped out, we've got McQueen, and he will find the next Mr. He will find the next Mr. He will find the next Mr. Bean.
Wow.
That was lovely.
There
Really
we go.
nice, that.
So we want you to find the next Mr. Bean, basically.
Yeah.
Obviously it makes perfect sense. I'm going to hand you over to Ryan, actually. I think, Ryan, have you got, you have some entries, don't you, of people?
Yeah, well, these have been sent in, obviously, by terrible fans, friends of the family, friends of the show, and they are short impressions of Mr. Bean. And yeah, we would just like you to basically judge them and judge which one you think is best. We can listen to them all and then maybe talk through, or maybe we'll go through one by one, and you can give us your opinions as we go. I think that's the way to do it.
I might be harsh. Is that okay?
Harsh is fine. I mean,
No, that's great.
So you're like the Cowell, you're like the Lloyd Webber, you're like the... Who's the guy from... You know.
Pete Waterman.
Waterman. I was thinking of Nasty Nigel and also the guy from the Bake Off. You're a bit like him, but maybe less nice.
Paul Hoywood,
Yes.
Oh, no.
That's a fucking terrible bean.
It's fucking dry. Look me in the eyes. It's fucking dry.
That's very good.
So much sauce.
So, yeah, Luke, before we play this, are you, would you call yourself a beanhead? Are you a Mr. Bean fan yourself?
That's a good point.
Don't mind if you're not, it's fine not to be. Atkinson cancelled on us.
I think I am. I do think Mr. Bean's brilliant. Do you know? Yeah, he is brilliant. He's pretty iconic, Mr. Bean, isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw him another thing I did where I had less than the line. It was like background, and Mr. Bean was there, and it was sort of incredible to watch. Actually,
Was that for Comic Relief? Oh, I saw that. Yeah, in the church.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, of course.
It was, you was watching it going, well, that's Mr. Bean, and that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, that must have been nice.
He knows what he's doing, that guy.
When it comes to Bean.
Yeah. When it comes to Mr. Bean, he knows what he's doing. Yeah, and Bean's great. I don't know terrible answer to your question.
No, it's a good answer. It's a much better answer than I could have ever anticipated, because what's happened is we found out not only are you a fan of Mr. Bean, you've been in the presence of Mr. Bean. You've seen Mr. Bean live. So these are big shoes to fill. And could it be?
Exactly. He's a perfectionist.
Exactly. So let's have a listen to contestant number 1, and this is Luke Alder from Birmingham.
Hello. I'm listening to Terrible Features.
Well, that's pretty good.
That's Luke from Birmingham. Luke, how do you feel about that?
Absolutely horrible. He got everything wrong. Everything wrong. First of all, he's in the toilet. We can hear the echo.
Sounds it.
He's eating as well. There was some munching towards the end.
Right.
And
and he sort of put a little camp twang onto it as well.
Do you think he was doing the oyster scene maybe when he's eating oysters?
Well, I think you're giving him the benefit of the doubt there.
Okay, so the beanometer there is
it's low, isn't it?
flickering
Very
pretty low.
bad.
Pretty
That was
low.
very, very bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, wow. Where does the bean? Obviously, the top of the beanometer is Mr. Bean, and then maybe below that we're talking Blackadder, Thin Blue Line, Johnny English. Is he down at Johnny English levels of Bean?
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose you could look at it like that. It's quite an unusual system.
Yeah, it's more of the Atkinsonometer, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a listen to contestant number 2. This is Antonio Dorilio from London.
Oh. Burn. Oh, Mr. Burn.
Can we hear that one more time, actually, Ryan?
Of course.
Oh. Burn. Oh, Mr. Burn.
Well, there you go.
Luke, what's your first impressions of that, mate?
I did. The first time I heard it, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I do like it. The second time, I felt like it was swinging a little bit towards Beavis and Butthead.
Okay.
Just a little bit towards
That's what it
Beavis and Butthead
reminded
the
me
second time.
of.
The laughing.
So what he's done is he's done an impression of Beavis and Butthead.
Great.
and he's got it. He's got it in, like, he did it years ago for something else. And then you've asked him, or he's found out about this, and he's gone, oh, I'll just send in the same tape I did for Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's another very lazy applicant.
I did feel at the end there, he kind of gave up. You kind of heard him giving up by the end.
Yeah.
He was walking away from the recording almost. But
Yeah.
Interesting. Ryan.
Okay, well, let's go to contestant number 3. This is Tom Pullen from Kent.
Oh, Teddy.
One more time.
Yes,
Play that again, yeah.
Oh, Teddy.
Wow.
How many of these have we got? Because
47.
7.
well, I'm just slightly worried that if I'd have heard that one first, I would have been much more generous for the other two.
Interesting.
Okay, so you feel like maybe taking... is there one more, Ryan?
2 more, if I'm honest.
2 more.
Truthfully, there's 2 more.
2 more. So would you say, Luke, this one at the moment, Tom Pullen from Kent, he's
Where is he on the
higher than-
Atkinsonometer?
Yeah, is he above the other 2?
He's bottom. He's Johnny English. If that's what we're calling bottom.
Wow.
He's Johnny, I don't like doing that though. Is Johnny English? I've not seen Johnny English. Is
No,
it?
it's good film.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, plenty of sequels.
What's Atkinson's worst role? It's rude to say, isn't it? That's the problem.
Can't we put it? Yeah, exactly. Can't we put it on something else? Like, I don't know. Didn't he get divorced or something? Maybe we can. Maybe the bottom one is like,
Like his
his
ex-wife
first
or
wedding.
something.
Well,
Yeah,
like
ex-first
his
wedding.
lowest
Yeah,
point.
okay. He crashed a car, right? Is a car crasher? Am I
Here
right
we
in
go.
thinking?
He's a
Yes.
big car enthusiast.
Yeah, loves
So-
his cars.
So we can say the bottom of the Atkinsonometer is quite literally a car crash.
Car crash.
Yeah.
Car crash.
Okay, yeah, that seems fair enough.
And then the middle of the Atkinsonometer is Johnny English. And then near the top is Blackadder. And then the very top of the Atkinsonometer is Mr. Bean.
I'd say
fine.
I'd add into that Blackadder Series 1 is probably quite low
Ooh,
down.
You're right, John, you're right.
They
in fairness.
changed the character a lot, didn't they? Made it a lot better for the subsequent
All right, well,
series.
let's hear from contestant number 4.
This is Dom Hurd from London.
Oh, burn.
Simple as that.
Okay, right. What do you think of that, Luke? What's your
Oh
What's your
God.
first impressions of that bad boy?
Leave them wanting more. That's one of the old
True.
tricks.
Yeah.
And you know what? I do want more. I do want more.
Oh, okay.
So even though I don't really feel like there's an awful lot there, maybe because the impression isn't great, I have to say I'm intrigued. So that's got to be that's got to be a Blackadder, isn't it?
That's definitely
very good.
That's the most positive review, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the most
Less
positive
is
thing you've
more.
said.
It's almost like if
so
there was
far.
if there was a second round, which there isn't, but if there was, he'd be through to it, we'll say.
It'd be through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the final, last, maybe least, maybe not. It's James Lord from East Grinstead.
Bird. Bird. Bird.
Just saying bean.
Oh, there's another one. Is that?
Okay.
Yes. See, it's funny, Luke, you were saying on that last one, you were saying, always leave them wanting more. And maybe James has gone in the opposite direction here and give you too much. What do you think, Luke?
I think it's a good point because I think his third bean was perfect.
Yeah.
His third bean was absolutely perfect, and then I thought that was it. And then, yeah, you're right. There was a fourth bean that, you know, again. If we could just listen to that third bean again, it's almost like he's in the room.
Okay, let's just try and get the third bean. I'll have to go through them, but
In hen.
one,
Rubbish.
Bird.
two,
Rubbish.
this one.
Bird.
Yes.
Bird.
Ah,
Yeah.
He's saying we should isolate the third bean there, and he's,
yeah.
he's got him in. Well, it's a tough decision for you to make, really, Luke, but there's no easy way to ask you, who's going to be the next Mr. Bean.
Do you know what? If James can consistently deliver that third bean, which I think he might be able to, then I think it's going to have to be James because it was perfection.
Wow.
Third bean was perfection.
He should have edited the self-tape, shouldn't he, really? But
Yeah.
Well, fair
so
play,
we're saying that the new Mr. Bean, officially cast in next year's reboot of the Bean franchise, is going to be friend of the family, friend of the show, I must say, because he's actually the unseen member of Seldom Differ. We shouldn't have didn't say that before. You want
That's
to know
good.
that?
It's good to keep it blind. You should judge it blind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it is the new Mr. Bean is going to be James Lord.
That's sort of perfect, isn't it? Sort of that sort of church choir music and his surname being the Lord.
Yes.
It sort of works.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Big shoes to fill, but he maybe can fill them.
Oh, he's got big feet.
Speaking of that tune,
Wide.
Very
wide feet. Yeah. Speaking of that tune, I hate to say the word factoid. I cringe at the idea of saying it, but I've said it now, and I have got one about that song. Do you guys know do you know, Luke, the thing about that music? The interesting thing. So that's not like a classical piece of music. That's actually a piece of music that was written for Mr. Bean, and it's Latin. For the words in it are actually Latin for "Behold the man who is a bean."
Ah, interesting.
I think they just go, "Behold the man who is a bean, who is a bean," and then and then it says end of part 1 and part 2, and then also at the end it says farewell, man who is a bean.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's very good.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
That attention to detail is important. That's why he's a perfectionist, that guy.
yeah.
What
yeah.
he says end of part 1, end of part 2 in Italian during that song.
In Latin. Yeah.
Oh, in Latin, sorry.
Not during that song, but when part 1 ends, it goes.
That's amazing.
Or whatever, you know.
In Latin.
Very interesting stuff, isn't
And
it?
made him a very rich man. Well, thank you so much, Luke, for playing along with that and being an excellent judge, I've got to say. A big congratulations to James Lord, who will be the next Mr. Bean. So congratulations for that. I can't wait to see him getting into that role.
We really should. It's weird to judge it all on voice, isn't it? Because it's such a physical role, but we have them.
Well, it's just the way we do it.
Yeah, I wonder.
James is very clumsy, so he's got that at least. Go around breaking things. But we should reveal the wheel, really, Ryan. I want to get this wheel spinning, get through some some features. We're pressed for time already. Now, I can see the wheel in the corner, but it's being covered by that lovely silk blanket. Can we bring in the wheel and remove the blanket? Oh, yes.
Wow.
Look at that.
I mean,
have you ever seen a feature wheel before, Luke? A podcast feature wheel? Anything
I have not. Am I meant to be seeing a wheel?
Can you not see it?
No.
giant. It's right behind Ryan.
Oh, it's
Take up
only
the whole
people who
background.
believe it. To be fair, only people who believe in the wheel can really see the wheel.
Yes.
But you just really got to believe.
That big wheel, Luke, behind Ryan.
Can you not see it?
That's because you've camouflaged it, Ryan. Bloody well, it was.
It's true.
It was pitch
It's
black
true.
last week. It was painted. What colour
Yeah.
was it, John?
It was that Vanta black.
Vanta Black, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this, Luke?
But-
This
Is
colour?
there a will? Is there actually a will?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, every week Ryan likes to decorate his wheel in different ways. And
Right.
at Halloween, he put spooky witch fingers and stuff like that on
I made it out of bones, didn't I?
Made it out of bones, yeah, of course.
Yeah, human bones.
Human bones, yeah, that was weird. And last week he did it pitch black. This week, I think he's camouflaged it to look like the background of your room, isn't it?
It's true.
The
It's
studio.
true.
Yeah.
It's because I was worried, talking about burglars earlier. I was worried about burglars coming around to my house and stealing the feature wheel. So no wonder you couldn't see it there, Luke. It means that my camouflage is working. It is there, but it's just painted to look exactly like
You've
my
put a
wall and
cupboard.
bed.
You've painted
Yeah.
a cupboard on the side and a duvet.
And a bit of duvet and a bit of cupboard.
Right.
And now if the burglars come round to steal the wheel, they won't be able to find the wheel. They'll just think, well, this is an empty room.
You're a genius, Ryan. You
Yeah.
really bloody are. Well, I hope it still spins just as good. So let's
Hold on.
test the spin. Oh,
I was just seeing if I could find it. I couldn't
sorry,
quite-
you're struggling to find it. Fair enough,
Yeah,
mate. Yeah,
but it is
yeah.
here.
Well, once you've got your hand around it, mate, give it a spin. Let's see what bloody features we're going to be playing today.
How long do they live for?
Ooh.
How long?
Classic feature, but one we've not had for a while.
It's true, actually. It's a very classic feature, and we've not had it for a long old time. Now, obviously, Luke's new to all of these games. I often think that the jingle can do quite a lot for a feature and can explain it with utter clarity. So maybe we should play the jingle, and hopefully that should get the point across to Luke as what the game is.
Guilty as a question and we all want to know. Is it 9, is it 80, is it 34? There's only one answer and we can't ignore. Come on everybody, how long does it live for? Give me the answer. Mongoose, zebra, hamster. They'll give you the animal but nothing else more. Come on everybody, how long does it live for?
This is a great game.
Well, if you didn't get it through that jingle, basically, you're given an animal. I give
Yeah,
all
I
of
got
you.
it.
You've got it.
I got it and I loved it.
Now, this episode, Luke, because I knew you were coming on, I wanted to make it extra special. So, you know,
Okay.
in the past, we've had... what have we had in the past, lads? I can't think of one single creature.
Snails,
Yeah, giant African snails, yeah.
for example.
Vampire deers. We've had all kinds of stuff. But anyway, vampire deer. It was like a deer and it has
Oh,
fangs.
right. Yeah.
Weirdly. Quite an odd...
Are you serious? Is that a
Creature.
real thing?
Apparently so, yeah.
Yeah. It was called vampire deer, and I think it had a different name.
Yeah, something like that.
It could have been a nickname, but
Well, I thought it's a special one this week because we got Luke on the show and we're big fans of yours, Luke. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to bloody build a time machine, is what I thought.
Whoa.
I'm going to build a time machine, and live on the show, I'm actually going to go back in time to look for the T-Rex. So the T-Rex will be the animal. Now, I'm hoping, because I've not tested this time machine yet, so I've got to get in here. It's right here, so I'm going to get in there. And then once I get to the other end, I'll tune back in with you guys. And
can you see it, Luke? Can you see his
I
time
can't
machine?
see it. I can't see the time machine either.
You've not camouflaged the time machine as
I
well. have you?
camouflage it. Yeah, well, I was so... Because I thought to myself, well, this must be a first. No one's ever really made a time machine, have they?
Yeah.
I was worried about
true.
burglars, Ryan, especially
Burglars,
you know,
yeah.
this day and age, because you know it's all bloody apps, isn't it, that they're stealing? But they'll probably want to steal this time machine if they see it. So that's why I've camouflaged it, Luke. But all right, I'm going to get in. Ryan, if you could trigger me off, pal. Get this top open. Cheers, buddy. Right, I'll speak to you in a bit.
What a rush. Alright, lads, listen. It's actually a misconception that the T-Rex lived
during the rather large time of the month, aka Jurassic period. No, they actually lived millions of years later during the late Cretaceous period, roughly 85 to 65 million years ago. And that is where I am now. And I'm on the search for the Oh, and there it is now. There it is now. It's a beautiful creature, very solidly built. Now, the bones on these things are actually hollow. Okay, this thing's about 40 feet long and about, 15 to 20 feet tall. Very small arms, but very strong, in fact, for their size. Tyrannosaurus Rex, of course, meaning king of the tyrant lizards in Greek. Now, this ain't no fun and games. If this thing grabs a hold of me, it could tear me to bits. It has the strongest bite of any land animal that's ever lived. Around 57,000 newtons of pressure, which is roughly the equivalent of the force of a medium-sized elephant sitting down. Right, I need to get back to the studio and ask you lot, how long did a T-Rex live for? See you in a moment. Close
That
that.
was good.
What?
There we go.
What happened?
I just, that was me, lid on my time machine, so I just went back in time to the... luckily, I bumped right into a T-Rex there, if you noticed.
Yeah, we could hear you all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing that the sound could travel like that. But
Well, that was another couple of days' research, to be fair, once I'd done the time machine, but...
So you were back in time, and were you reading that off Wikipedia? While you're in the...
No.
Oh,
All in there, mate.
interesting.
All in the super system.
I felt like I was in a CBBC special. Do you know what I mean? That's great. So informative, man.
Well, what I'm going to do anyway, I'm leaving it in the studio. So if you guys ever want to borrow it
Sweet,
for any
that'd be
features, it's there. So listen, lads, how long does a Tyrannosaurus Rex live for? Or how long did it live for, on average? Not in captivity, in the wild, by the way.
Right.
Was there supposed to be clues when you went back in time?
No, it was just a
facts.
lovely,
Yeah,
informative piece. Yeah. In case it helps you, what we found in the past, judging by its weight and its height
that does,
and its length.
Yeah.
You don't know the answer to this. No one. Nobody does. It annoys me when people think they know stuff about dinosaurs. They were around a million years ago. It's like when they said they go, "Oh, this dinosaur was a vegetarian." How? What are you talking about?
How do you know that? Yeah. It's a very
They
good
go,
point.
They get their bones and go, "Oh yeah, we can." No, that bones are millions and millions of years old. You tell me that in a million years. If someone found my bones in a million years, they're not going to go, "Oh yeah, he liked chicken tikka masala." It's nonsense. it's all made up.
Well,
It depends if you're found with a package of, because plastic's obviously going to last, isn't it? And if it's one of those plastic packages and it's got the marker pen on the top that says Tika.
That's true. That's true.
Well, this is National Geographic. This is what apparently the liars have made up. But if you could have if you could have a guess, just so we can move on from this feature.
Well, there's no way that Moses outlived a dinosaur. So I'm going 1,200 years per head.
So they lived 1,200 years.
Absolutely.
Did Moses live for 1,200 years?
Moses did 900. Don't worry about Moses.
Oh.
He was around for a long time.
Yeah? Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's
I think
true.
so.
You couldn't imagine Moses being older than a dinosaur. It's a really good point.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
You know
that's a good point.
how he did his how he did his hair.
Moses.
Go on.
Have a guess how he did his hair.
Parted
For another
in the
for-
centre.
for-
In the
There
centre
we go.
parted.
Thank you. So that,
Yeah.
that's another, that's another point. It's another point to you, Ryan. So we go on
Thank
to
you.
John. John, how many years did a T-Rex live for on average? Not in a zoo, in the wild.
In the wild, because I was basing mine off Jurassic Park. It looked old.
Exactly.
It
yeah.
looked old in the new one. Do you know what I mean?
Wrong period. Wrong period.
41 years.
41 years for John and
those big old
Ryan
dinosaurs.
House.
I'm going to go 55.
No, that's crazy.
55.
Too young.
Those
you
are
think?
massive.
I suppose to grow to that size, it's going to take a
To
long
grow
time,
to that
isn't it?
size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I think I've been silly, but, you know.
And all the wrinkles, they're full of wrinkles.
They look old, don't they? You never. It's like Barry Cryer, aren't they? You never see a young one.
Yeah.
No, I'm worried. I'm going to deliver this answer, and Luke's going to absolutely lose his shit. And luckily, he can't walk out the hotel room because he's literally quarantined in, so he's going to deal with it. But I can reveal that one of you is closer than the others. Ooh. And the answer I was looking for how long does a T-Rex live for was 28 years. What?
Oh, nothing really, is it?
No, not true.
So John,
It's got to be a wind-up.
it's not a wind-up. It's all true. JP, you have taken that point, and I'm afraid, Luke, what did you say? 100? How old did you say?
1,200 years.
Older than Moses. Older than... I said older than... 1,200 years.
The thing is, you were way
That's
off,
fair
but you
enough.
were brave. That's what I like about it. I was a coward. You know, I'm just as much of a loser as you are, but I've gone with a very conservative, cowardly 55.
Well,
A real set of cahoons.
you know,
on it.
I always go back to it in my mind. The one that shocks me to my core is how long eels live for. Look, quick guess. An eel?
Well, the fact that it shocks you must mean...
But it was an electric eel, don't forget.
Well,
I'm gonna go for a year.
80.
Wow, that's lovely.
Isn't that
80
mad?
years. That's so nice.
yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why I said a year after you were so shocked.
But a year would shock me, though. It's
It's because if they're straight, they look like the number one, don't they?
I've just got the fact that you were saying shocks me because it's an electric eel.
yeah, I know.
Oh, I see now.
No one,
Yeah, good.
no one was interested at the time. Not to worry.
I think I got it, Ryan. It was far
Yeah,
too
no,
late. I didn't want to.
I missed it.
damn.
And I was glad to be reminded of what it's very good.
Yeah. So what happened was, John said it shocked him
Yeah.
how long the eel
Right,
lived for,
I
and then I
see.
think Luke said, well, if it shocked him, I'm not sure. And then I said, well,
Yeah.
don't forget it was an electric eel.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, you did say that. And I didn't know what you meant at the time.
Yeah.
But now that's brilliant.
Yeah,
That's very good.
Yeah.
And I was thinking it wasn't an electric eel, Ryan. It was a common eel.
Oh, so the joke didn't work. I see. Fair enough.
Yeah,
But I didn't want to say that.
it was a common eel, and
They've only just found their breeding grounds. It's big stuff in the world of eels.
yeah.
Well, I suppose the joke could work. So I could say, we can say, that you're shocked. And then you just have to reverse it, don't you?
Tell me more.
You shouldn't be shocked. It's not an electric eel. Can you say that?
Oh, I love you.
Oh, I
love
see.
you. I mean, I love it. I love it. I don't love you. I love it.
I love you to bits. I love you to bits.
So should we do it all again?
Yeah. Okay.
Do all of it from the top.
Okay. 1 second.
Okay.
Future Ryan here, just to say we did go through the entire podcast again up to this point, but I thought, you don't need to hear that. You've already heard it. It took ages, and then I'm very ashamed and disappointed to say I forgot why we were doing it, and I forgot to do the joke again. So it was all a bit of a waste of time in the end.
Okay, well, there you go.
Oh, we never
So
did it,
John-
did we? Fuck, I need to
No,
go
I
back
was gonna
again.
say,
Sorry.
That's what, you're just going to do the joke again. But it doesn't. I mean, I enjoyed this, whatever this was. So well done, John. You get the point there. 28 years
Thanks.
on average for a T-Rex. All that weight, all them teeth, all that jaw for 28 years. But it's the best time of your life, isn't it?
No life, is it?
28.
Yeah, true. 28 club, isn't it? Is that the age? Or is it 27 when all the celebs die?
27. Live fast, die young. Okay, shall we have another spin of that camouflage wheel, Ryan?
Yeah, let me just see if I can find it. It's around here somewhere.
Genuine or Johnuine?
Interesting.
A good group game, actually. Yes, genuine.
It is.
or
It's true.
Johnuine. This one, I think you might enjoy, Luke. Let's hand it over to John Patrick. Sorry, Ryan, you want to say something?
All I was going to say was that the thing that I like the most about this game is that I get to play it together with you, Matt.
Oh,
And we work as a team.
I mean, that is such a sweet, sweet thing to say. And if I was to jar you and put you on toast, I suppose you'd be a very sweet marmalade with cuddly, thick slices of orange in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
what you'd
so
be.
nice, Matthew.
On my breakfast.
And to me, if you were a jarred good that you'd put on toast, you'd be a thick, creamy Nutella with a topping of squirty cream on top of that. That's what you'd be to me. And today, of course, we get to play this game with our good new friend, Luke McQueen. And that's fabulous, Luke. And to me, Luke, if you were anything that's jarred and you put on toast, you'd be a kind of, maybe a sweet strawberry jam, very thick and lumpy with all the bits of strawberry still in there.
A classic.
A classic jam.
Yes.
Yes. What would we be to you, Luke?
Well,
Poor Luke.
John, I think Joe, you would be a crunchy peanut butter, because I crave you every morning.
Well, that's John,
Beautiful.
isn't it? But that's lovely.
John, but your thing says Joe.
Oh, that's my wife.
You can understand why I made the mistake.
Of course.
Also, I was talking about your wife.
Okay,
Yes. Wife is like peanut butter because I want to see her every morning.
Yes, that makes more sense.
Lovely.
Ryan, you are like a banana spread because I've only discovered this recently, but it's something that whenever a guest comes in the house, they all enjoy it. Everyone enjoys this banana spread.
Oh, lovely.
And they're always pleasantly surprised. It's sort of banana and honey and like actual pieces of banana.
That does sound good.
Does sound good, to be fair. That does sound good. Come on, then.
And Matt, you would be chocolate.
Oh.
You would be delicious, creamy chocolate spread.
Oh, some more creamy chocolate. Oh, yes,
White
yeah.
chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
You've got quite a creamy forehead.
It is. It is creamy. It is creamy.
And that's lovely, isn't it? That we all get to work together on this, and we all love each other.
Yeah. Let's hand it over to John Patrick, who will maybe give Luke a little bit more of a clue as to what the hell is going on right now.
Yeah. Well, let's play the jingle first. It's pretty self-explanatory, I'd say. We're playing Genuine or Johnuine. Is it matter of fact or is it actual crap? Genuine or Johnuine. He's got a fact addiction or is it all fiction? Genuine or Johnuine. His lies are true, but is he lying to you? Genuine or Johnuine. He lies, he lies, he lies, he lies, he lies. I do lie.
Did you figure it out from the jingle there, Luke?
Yeah, it's Would I Lie to You, isn't it?
No, it's nothing like that.
Oh, but it's yes. But it's not
No,
about John
I'm going to
personally,
give
is
you.
it?
No, I'm going to give you 3 facts, two of which are genuine facts, and one of which is a genuine fact.
I suppose on Would I Lie to You, they'd call it a lie, and that's not what we're doing here at all. We're calling it a genuine fact.
That should twist. Okay.
And there's
I've got
the
it.
difference.
So the genuine fact is something that John's made up.
And you have to try and figure out which one is the genuine fact
Okay.
out of these 3 facts, all right?
And we can work together on
Yeah,
on this,
you're
Luke.
working together on
That's
this.
We're all working together.
It's another way it differs from the format of Would I Lie to You? I would argue that. But then again, they are in teams. They are in teams of three, aren't they? That is the same.
Yeah.
I'll take that out.
So, okay, I'm just going to get cracking on these facts. So we're about level pegging. We've done about 18 of these now. All right.
Still level pegging. Okay,
Ish,
we need to get this, mate. We need to get this.
Okay.
All right, first fact. Some subspecies of reindeer use a clicking in their knees as a signal to establish relative position in the herd and a signal of body size and dominance, right? So they use a clicking in their knees to know where people in the herd are and also to assert dominance.
Are you looking at your wife as you're doing this because you're you're slightly embarrassed?
So that's fact number one, all right?
Yeah.
Fact number two. Flying fuck originally meant to have sex on horseback.
Oh, couldn't give a flying fuck.
The first ever rule of football was that the pig's bladder must be from a Tamworth pig, which is a breed of pig.
Interesting.
Where's Tamworth? Did you say Tamworth, John?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know?
Yeah.
Wasn't the first football ground in like Sheffield?
For the first football club, weren't it? Sheffield FC.
Yeah.
Can I elaborate slightly on that for you? It's the first rules were written for football were written at Eton, the school. They were the first ever place to write down a rule for.
Very posh.
And the first of the rules that they wrote was that it has to be made from this.
Okay. Well, the first one seems so complex. Feels like, why would he make that up? It's
Luke,
such a...
you know your deer, mate, don't you? Do you think there's something in that clicking of the knees, locating?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one is almost certainly genuine.
Genuine. I think that's true, yeah. I'm just wondering, because I'm a knee clicker myself. My knees click from time to time.
Snap, yeah.
And I'm wondering if John's seen me clicking my knees and that's where he's got the idea for this made up fact.
Do you do it to try and show people that, you know, that you're a tough guy and they should watch themselves?
Assert my position in the group and my dominance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Often me and Matt will be found clicking our legs at each other.
Me and you in the room clicking at each other.
It gets vicious.
Looking each other dead in the eye.
Yeah.
But when my knees clicks, it's usually followed with, like a, or, some going up or down.
Also, if you were on all fours, you would be more inclined to use your knees for more stuff because you're looking at them quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like we don't do a lot with our knees because you don't really see them. But if you're on all fours, you sort of think, I should probably do something else with that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Become more of a tool.
We don't do a lot with our knees because we rarely see them.
Yeah, because you're not you're looking, you're just looking.
It's true. They're out of your eye line, aren't they? They're not in your
you're sort of
peripheral.
Camouflaging your wheels and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Now this flying fuck one, it absolutely reeks to high heaven to me. This one, but I don't know if that's part of the plan. A flying fuck was originated from what? Having sex on horseback.
Yeah, that's the first recorded instance of it meant to have sex on horseback.
It's a weird one. For me, that would be like the screamer. Like that's so daft that it's false, but actually that's often, as we've found, a sign that it is true. You know,
really,
the real sort of. But then also these days, 18 games in, John's sort of getting into that mentality of us. He hears our thought processes.
Hey, we're quadruple bluffing at this stage, aren't we?
Quadruple bluffing, quintuplet bluffing, and sometimes sextuplet bluffing.
I mean, I'm new to the game. To me, it just doesn't make any. The flying fuck thing just doesn't really make any sense. I think that's probably a Johnuine. But then I'm new to the game. You know the guy. Yeah. I've only just learned the guy's name. I was calling him Joe a second ago.
That's true. I mean, I'd be quite happy to go along with Luke's answer there. The third one,
but then you are right. It is obvious.
The third one with the pig's bladder, that feels like it's something that, because they'd go, oh, this is the kind of pig that, for some reason, this pig has a particular kind of flesh or something that's appropriate for a football, like it's thicker or it's of a higher quality or something like that. That's the one.
Also, when John clarified it was eaten, it was like there was a level of detail that if he is lying about that one, then that's fair play to him.
Again, that's what he does.
He's a clever guy, though. He does do that kind of business.
I suppose he had to be a certain pig. I suppose that'd be like taking not Monopoly, but like you can only get the pigskins from this shop, so they own the rights to all the footballs, basically. I believe that.
It's the sort of thing that sort of the Eton guys would probably do. Like, oh yeah, we've got to look after Gary and his pig farm. So that's all the profits.
Yeah, it's essentially mafia, isn't it? Well, I don't know if you have any strong feelings, Ryan. I think as Luke's a guest today, I'm quite happy to go with.
Yeah, it's just the flying thing. Like, why flying on a horse? Surely it'd be on the back of an eagle or something.
The flying horseman, isn't it? There's the flying horseman is a thing, isn't it? Oh, that was an airplane, wasn't it?
But
that was a Dutchman.
Because it doesn't make any sense, then why would you make it up? Why would you make something up that didn't really make sense? Maybe it's
well, welcome to Terrible Feelings,
yes,
Luke.
Exactly, yeah.
The clue is in the title.
What was the first one again?
It was. Can you read out the first one, John? Actually,
some subspecies of reindeer use a clicking in their knees as a signal to establish relative position within the herd, and also a signal of body size and dominance.
Body size dominance and relative position within the herd. It seems like so many different things going on.
John,
I'm changing my mind. I think it's the reindeers. They use their antlets for that sort of shit. Yeah.
John, look down the lens and tell me that's Johnuine.
I'm not saying anything now.
Okay, I actually think for me, and I think it seems like for Luke too at this point, and I apologise if it's wrong, of course, but I think the one that's the lie, not the lie, we don't say that. The one that's Johnuine.
The Johnuine
is, the thing about the clicking knees and the deer.
Yeah, I'll go through that as well.
I think.
The deer. I'm happy to, I'll go with that. I'll go with the crowd.
We're locking in?
John, we're saying the deer clicks is a Johnuine answer.
All right. Well, I can tell you that the Johnuine answer was that the first ever rule for football is that the pig's bladder must be.
Very good.
And this has got to be a wind up.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
No, that was fantastic.
Well played, John. Well played,
Well
John.
done, John. The Eton detail was fantastic. That was a real steer.
Yeah. Well, Eton did make some early football rules. But
so there was an element of truth to it. I see. That's the best kind of lie, isn't it?
Also, the flying fuck is from a poem in 1800 called New Feats of Horsemanship. And it's this guy who wrote saucy porno poems. And there's pictures to go with them, which are mental looking. It says, a well mounted on a mettled steed, famed for his strength as well as his speed. Karina and her favourite buck are pleased to have a flying fuck.
Oh.
And it's just a picture of people shagging on a horse.
Lovely that. That's really nice.
And they say romance is dead.
Do you think anyone's ever done that?
Shagged on a horse?
Like physically done that? Feels difficult.
Have you not?
Yeah. I've never been on a horse. I'm terrified of them.
It'd have to be a couple of like jockeys at a Christmas party, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Like they have to have the skill already to be up there.
Or if the horse is dead or something.
If the horse is dead, it's a good point. Yeah.
Just on top of a horse.
So plenty of people have done that.
Yeah. Just gives you the right horn.
Romance is alive.
John, listen, congratulations, mate. You really did have our pants down on that one. I cannot believe it. I did. That was that slipped right through. Well done, mate.
Can I ask John? When I said, because of the Eton detail, if it's that one, then he's done very well. How was you feeling inside at that point?
I was glowing like I'd had ready break.
You did very well to hide the glow.
I'll be dining out on that. I'll be dining out for a long time.
Yeah, you must have really enjoyed that. Ryan, have we got time for another feature? Another spin of the wheel?
Time's getting on. I mean, if as long as Luke's happy to do another feature, then let's do another quick feature before the day's out.
All right.
Let me find that wheel.
Ryan's Riddled with it.
No.
Of course.
Not heard this in a while, have we? Ryan's riddled with it.
Before we go on, I was just thinking about the farmyard animals and the pigs, and it got me thinking about chickens. And Luke, I know you did a car boot karaoke with Abs off of 5. Have you heard his single that he released called, what's it called? It's like called Cock-a-Doodle-Doo. Because he's doing this self-sufficient farming, or he was. He released a single to raise funds for his own farming project.
And it was called Cock-a-Doodle-Doo.
And I could only find it on Wales Today, not anywhere else, basically.
Let me get this straight. Abs from
That's a lot.
5
Yeah.
has got a farming project he's now doing.
Yeah.
And he's released a single to promote it called
Not
Cock-a-Doodle-Doo.
promote it, just to make money because he's so broke.
Right. And what's his farming project that you're talking about?
Just doing a self-sufficient, living off the earth
Oh,
sort of thing.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Just to give that context, Luke does a show called Car Boot Karaoke, in which, do you want to explain it, Luke? You have the celeb in.
Yeah, well, it was a pilot for something. It was and the idea was that I was the chat show host, and that it was all sort of going wrong, and it was our version of car pull karaoke where. It was sort of cheaper if we just rode in the boot of a taxi,
Right.
And it was me and Abs, and I was just sort of, having a breakdown. But Abs was lovely. Like, he was so nice. That guy, he's a great guy.
He seems really
that's
nice.
nice to
he seems
hear.
very genuinely.
He's really
into
nice.
What he's doing.
Yeah, I mean,
God
God
bless
knows what
him.
happened to all those guys that had those. But I think 5 wrote their own songs. I don't know exactly what happened there, but. Whatever.
I love 5. The thing I love about 5 is the way that it's spelled. So the number 5 forms an F.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
F-I-V-E as you'd think. It's 5-I-V-E. And
Five
that
IVE.
is... And you read it as 5, no matter what. It's very clever. I love it.
Not 5-5.
It's not 5-I. Yeah, you don't read it as 5-I at all. You read it as 5.
I mean, what's ridiculous is that we've had this
I know,
conversation
on this podcast.
before about 5, and we don't read it 5-I.
I've got a lemon. Am I going to get my lemon?
Oh, he's gone.
That's it.
Sick. What do you mean you're going to have your lemon? Do
Yeah, what does that mean?
you mean you're going to put it in some hot water?
Oh, I eat raw lemons sometimes.
Oh, right. That's what you meant.
I like
Are
how
you eating the
bitter it is. Yeah. It's only a slice, so there's not much, there's not much, because it's so soury,
Rind.
you don't really notice the rind, really.
And is the rind where the good is?
It's the zest, isn't it?
I don't do it a lot. It's just that they bring 3 little slices. It's nice it's nice.
And you don't want them to get any rind to
That
have
is nice.
themselves afterwards, do you? The
No,
staff.
exactly.
Yeah. They're getting no tip and they're getting no rind. He's having a lot.
Speaking of bitter things, let's go to Ryan Howes, whose feature's just come up here. What tree is me, Ryan?
Oh, this.
That's incorrect. What just happened was, so Ryan's riddled with it has just come up on the wheel.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan's riddled with it, yeah.
Now Luke's sad. He's thinking, what's tree is me? That's another feature for another week, unfortunately.
Oh, God.
But this is
It's
Ryan.
coming every week.
Exactly. This is Ryan's riddled with it. And as always, we have a jingle, and maybe the jingle will just explain all. So I'll play that first, and let's see if you have any questions.
Have you heard? Ryan's riddled with it.
Riddled with what?
Riddled with it.
Have you heard? Ryan's riddled with it.
Riddled with what? He's not. Have you heard? Ryan's riddled with it. What's Ryan riddled with?
Is absolutely riddled. Poor bugger.
There we go. Ryan's riddled with it. And if that didn't explain all, I'll just further clarify now. Basically, this week I'm riddled with some kind of disease or medical condition, and I'm going to give you, in fact, 3 riddles, and the answer to each of those riddles is the same thing. It's the condition I'm riddled with. The riddles get progressively easier. You can lock in after 1 riddle for 3 points. You can lock in after 2 riddles for 2 points, and you can lock in after 3 riddles for 1 point.
1 point.
Have I said that right? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I understand.
You understand?
But the answer is the same every time. But you just, yeah.
There's one answer to the whole game, and it's the medical
Yeah.
condition I'm riddled with this week. What it is it's a play on words that went too far, because you start doing the feature and then you go, I don't want to be researching medical conditions every week. It's horrible. It's really depressing.
But if it comes up on the wheel, it comes up on the wheel.
But if it comes up, it comes up, yeah.
So it is actually. So the thing we are looking for is a real medical condition.
That's correct. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a real medical condition that I am now riddled with. Okay. Riddle number 1. Tiny but mighty, like a mole digging in you. Sounds like multiple children, younger than just 2. Okay.
One more time.
Tiny but mighty, like a mole digging in you. Sounds like multiple children, younger than just 2. Any thoughts? Any lock-ins, do we think?
Ryan, did you say like a mole digging in you?
I did, yes. Okay. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to lock in. You don't have to lock in. You can wait for the next riddle.
I need another one.
I haven't got a clue.
Yeah, I'm not going to lock in on this one. I don't
No
think.
lock-ins. No lock-ins. I'm never quite sure with these how difficult I've made them, because obviously I know the answer, but we'll
That's
see.
fine.
Riddle number 2. There's a word that's key to diagnosing this rash, and it's how records were treated by Grandmaster Flash. But if you did this to my records, like an American, I'd be pierced. And the answer to my riddle comes from the Latin for this. It's a good clue, isn't it? Whatever way you look at it, it's a good clue.
Yeah, do it again.
There's a word that's key to diagnosing this rash, and it's how records were treated by Grandmaster Flash. But if you did this to my records, like an American, I'd be pissed. And the answer to my riddle comes from the Latin for this.
Pierced.
Yeah, that's just a bit of flavour, that accent. It doesn't really...
Like pierced.
You don't need to think about it too much. Okay. How are people feeling? Confused? No, Matt's got something to think.
Shit. No, is anyone locking in on this one?
I'll give you a few more seconds. Anyone locking in? John?
I'm struggling here. I'll be
I'm
honest.
Struggling?
Lock in, Matt. Do it.
Ooh.
Okay.
If you've got an idea, you can make things exciting.
I'm locking in.
He's locked in.
100% wrong.
Wow. Maybe not, though. You know? And Luke, how you feeling?
I have no idea.
No idea. Fair enough.
Struggling, yeah.
Fair enough. Well, this is hopefully a little bit easier. The final riddle. Riddle number 3. Miniature creatures lay eggs in your skin and leave miniature lines, silver and thin, very contagious. It often starts with the fingers, and anyone can get it, not just dirty mingers. Anyone, human, from Jane Smith to Joe Bloggs. But it does rhyme with the one that's made famous by dogs. Has that helped?
Rhyme with the one that's made famous by dogs.
Yeah, almost famous. Maybe that should be, but does rhyme with the one that's most famous with dogs, or, you know.
I always overthink these. That's the problem.
You often get it, John, and you had it early doors usually, and you've overthought it, and you've gone, well, it can't be that, it can't be that.
That's the name of a rash. That's what's getting me.
Yeah, it's a kind of, there's a rash involved, for sure.
What am I thinking of?
But that could have been a cryptic clue when I said the word rash. I've given away now that it wasn't.
What's
So
that
Matt's
one
locked in. How's Luke feeling?
Not good.
Not good.
That'll be the lemon rind.
Yeah.
Think of what dogs are best known for getting, what disease dogs are known for getting. And then
Does Matt think he knows it?
he locked in at number 2, didn't he? So
I've locked in, but no, I'm starting to think I may be a little bit off the mark.
Yeah, go on. Give me a bit more of a clue, right?
Fleas, isn't he? He's talking about fleas, is he?
Fleas?
I presume. Dogs made famous, fleas, isn't it? Or ticks, lice, something like that. Some kind of rabies. Oh no, I know the answer. And do you know what, Ryan? This crossed my mind.
yeah,
I've just been racking my head on that last one, thinking. I suppose I can't say it, can I yet?
I feel like you almost just said it. I feel like the game's been given away, but
Yeah, I guess so. I would not have got that, I'll be happy to say.
Okay. Matt might have given the game away a little bit there, but I feel like I was pushing it with my over-cluing at the end because I was worried that I'd been too difficult. But
never back down.
Matt locked in at number 2. What did you lock in with, Matthew?
Scabies.
Did you?
No. I put nappy rash.
Fair enough. And Luke, did you lock in at the end there, or did you write something down at the end at least?
Well, I just thought maybe it was rabies then.
Yeah,
oh,
so did I.
rabies. So you've
So
got
did I.
rabies.
But I see now.
And did you say rabies as well, John?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I'll tell you, I'm afraid to say this time, none of you got it.
Oh my
It was,
God, that was
in
hard.
fact, scabies was the answer. And we can go back through it. So very, as Osman would say, very well done if you got that right at home.
We're not doing other TV shows, Ryan. Big enough lawsuit with Genuine or Johnuine.
Lawsuits.
No, I want to go through some of these clues.
So let's go through the clues. Number 1, tiny but mighty. So it starts with a tiny little mite that digs into you like a mole.
Right, yeah,
it burrows
yeah.
like a mole digging into you. It burrows. A tiny mite burrows into your skin, and it sounds like multiple children younger than 2, which is a baby. I was getting at. So plural of babies.
Right.
It sounds like babies. It's scabies.
Yeah.
So that's the reasoning behind the first riddle. Riddle number 2. There's a word that's key to diagnosing this rash, and it's how records were treated by Grandmaster Flash. Any ideas with what I mean by that?
Scratching.
Scratching is correct.
Yeah.
But if you did this to my records, like an American, I'd be pissed, like I'd be annoyed. And the answer to my riddle comes from the Latin for this. Scabies actually comes from the Latin to scratch. So there's the answer there.
Right.
And then at the end, I think it's all quite self-explanatory.
Do you? Do you think it's self-explanatory?
No, I was saying the last clue I think is quite self-explanatory. Miniature creatures lay eggs in your skin and leave miniature lines, silver and thin, very contagious. It often starts with the fingers. Anyone can get it, not just dirty mingers. Anyone human, from Jane Smith to Joe Bloggs. And then the real big clue I thought here that would have given the game away was, but it does rhyme with the one made famous by dogs. I thought you would have thought rabies. I thought you would have rhymed it with scabies.
Well, I did in the end.
Got there in the very end, yeah.
But already locked in, unfortunately.
Well-
I should have got this because I had to have ointment once for this because my brother brought scabies. He brought shame onto the family and brought scabies into the house from some hussy that he was seeing.
Oh, wow. But this is the thing, Matthew, as I say in the rhyme, anyone can get it, not just... And I hated to use the phrase, it just rhymed very well, dirty mingers. Yeah. So I don't know if she was... I don't think there's any shame in it, is what I'm saying.
No, we're bringing back some old, uncomfortable terms. Pussy and mingers.
Yeah.
And it's 2020, you can't say it anymore, can you?
I don't know.
Luke keeps his mouth shut about this kind of stuff, and that's why he's got a bloody line with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, but the line is very un-PC. It's a very offensive line.
I'd love to know the line.
I can't wait to hear the line.
How many words is the line, Luke?
Can I count it? Because I don't know.
You don't know?
Oh, it's getting long now. It's
16 words.
And are you including the ooh?
No, I'm not.
17.
There you go.
I'm not. And the reason I'm not is because it would definitely get cut. You do it again, but without that weird little...
That's surrealable, that. 16 words, I think.
Yeah.
I
can say them very slowly.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can't give us the name of the film yet, can you either, Luke?
I can do. Yeah, it's called... No, because it's called The Weight of Incredible Talent, I think it's called. I think it's called that. It's called The Weight of Something Talent, Incredible Talent. Or...
Okay.
Yeah, and you're saying it's Nicolas Cage playing himself, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, if you Google like Nicolas Cage 2021 film, you'll see what. He plays himself, and
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Now, what did I say? Because I didn't say that, did I?
Close.
But it is that. Yeah, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
For a second there, I was like, is this a wind up? Is this a wind up?
No, I mean obviously I'm not. I'm just in it for the one line. But I've read the script. It is funny. I think it's a fun.
I'm looking forward to
funny
it.
film.
Yes.
So nobody got a point there, Ryan. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Sorry to say, and I feel let down. I feel like I've let myself down, which
No.
I don't know why I feel like that. I feel like I made it too hard.
There's people at home screaming, going, scabies!
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Please get in touch with us and let us know if you got that at home, because it made me feel a lot better.
Yeah. I think it was fine also, Ryan. It's nice. It's, it's cryptic sometimes, and other times. You know, just because we didn't know it doesn't mean that it's too hard. That's not how quizzes work. Stop putting yourself down, Ryan.
Yeah, the second one was harder than the first one. The
third
one, the third one was easy.
At one point, I had cat scratch fever.
Of course.
I was thinking infant something, but all I could think about was something terrible like infant death or whatever it's called. It's not really.
At one point, I was thinking about Pierce Brosnan just because of the way you said pierced. Pierce Brosnan.
When did I say pierced?
You had the Americans get pierced.
Oh, I see. Right.
I thought you were trying to say Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, as if there's some kind of clue.
Some tedious link.
Is it like Bond, James Bond, band, elastic band, Band-Aid, some kind of cut, some kind of scratch? There's a link. There's always a link. Anyway, well, that's that then. I think we don't really have time for many more features, but there's a bit of admin to get through, of course.
Oh,
First of all, I'd love to mention our new merch shop for Christmas that we've opened up.
Holy shit, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's online now. You can buy yourselves a Terrible Features t-shirt. You can get yourself a...
And it's got to be a wind-up.
T-shirt. We've got multiple designs of the It's Got to Be a Wind-Up range. It's Got to Be a Wind-Up winter collection. We have phone cases. We have coasters. We have mugs. We have got a lot of stock, is the point. We've spent a lot of money on stock.
Yeah, it's filled. The studio is wall-to-wall with boxes of Christmas crap, and well, not just Christmas crap, it's good crap all year round, isn't it?
It's all year round. We haven't gone with a Christmas jumper theme or anything like that. It's stuff you can wear all year round,
but sure. Ryan, I mean, yeah, sure, I've heard about your podcast, but it sounds like a big bag of shit to me. But I did quite like that Don't Tape Over pilot that you made. Have you got anything related to that I could maybe purchase for my friends and family at home?
Yes, for fans of that pilot we made, we've got some Don't Tape Over stuff. We just threw it in there, thought why not? You know, while we're ordering the rest, spend a few grand on Don't Tape Over t-shirts.
Yeah.
So we've got Don't Tape Over t-shirts, Don't Tape Over phone cases. You know, we've got the lot.
Love that pilot.
Oh, thank you, Luke. Do you like it?
I thought it was fantastic. Yeah,
brilliant.
Sort of thing that should get made into a series.
Yeah, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? I remember talking to you the one time I met you earlier this year about maybe putting a night on called Too Good for TV, you know, where we make our... where, you know, TV producers aren't allowed, you know, and we just put stuff on that's just too good for TV. Like we don't want it to be on TV. It's too good for them shit.
Right, Ryan, is it true that your last live gig was watching Luke McQueen before you got locked down?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I was saying to Matt earlier, the last live thing I saw was your gig at the Moth Club.
The Lucy Pinder,
where you did.
Show.
Yeah, it was brilliant. But it was the last comedy I got to see live before the world went to shit.
I did a gig. Well, I don't know if it was basically I did a gig when I had COVID. I did some gigs in France with Lou Sanders, who I live with, and we were together. We were in the same bedroom, and then we got back from France. We had another gig. We had a couple more gigs in London, in England, around the country, and we were both like, you know, but at this point, people weren't really getting it. Mm-hmm. But we were both like, I feel a bit ill, really, and we were both just on stage sweating.
Oh God!
And then we cancelled our gig we had the next night, and I said, look, I think we might have this fucking thing because we just come from France, like through the airports. So we literally did a gig, and it was terrible as well. Like we both had a horrible time because we were just like so ill on stage, just sweating.
Oh my God! But it did make me think, and it puts it in a whole new light now. That the last thing I saw before COVID really hit was your gig, and that gig at the Moth Club the super spreader event that caused it all. You know, was that the straw that broke the camel's back? It could have been. But it was really funny. So you do it's the person
behind the celebrity. Yeah. So we interview celebrity guests, but they're not allowed to speak. You just speak to people who sat behind them from their lives.
Right.
I started doing it online. Well, I've made 2 online, and I want to make some more. But then obviously, you know, it's difficult to ask people to film at the minute because everyone's
nightmare. I think it's really enjoyable to watch. I was rewatching the bit where I think it was Lou Sanders. Was it Lou Sanders whose cousin is? Oh no, it was
Tom Rosenthal.
Tom Rosenthal.
The wrestler.
Oh yeah.
She picked you up.
Yeah. She was great.
You having the time of your life with that. And a big shout out to old friend of the family, friend of the show, Simon Bolsh.
Yeah.
Who you did it with.
Bouchy. Yeah, made that with Bouchy. Yeah, very funny guy.
Yeah.
He's a lovely lad.
Work with him a lot.
Yeah,
did
you make your BBC Three pilots with him as well? Yeah, they were really good as well.
He was the writers on that. Yeah, thanks, man.
Do you probably recognise me, Luke, from one of Bolsh's most memorable pieces of work? His was it called Barge Boys?
Yeah.
Is that what it was called?
It was called Barge Boys.
Yeah, I was in an episode of that. So get me a job. Get me a job. Well, we have got some more admin actually to do, haven't we, Ryan?
Yeah. Oh, so that shop, by the way, I'll put a link to the shop in the description. Blah blah blah, all that kind of business, so you can buy some stuff.
Can I give a shameless plug? You know, Luke, who, not you, Luke, a different Luke, my brother Luke, who does all our audio work. Well, his wife is releasing a book. Has released a book, which is pretty great. And a talented family, aren't they? It's called That's Rubbish. It's by Jenny York. So if you haven't bought it, go and buy it. It's an absolute cracking, hilarious book.
Where can you get it though, John?
You can get it on Amazon. Just pick it up on Amazon.
Brilliant.
You can get it in a couple of days. It's very good, very funny.
What's it
book.
called again?
That's Rubbish. It's kind of about environmental stuff. It's I think it's aimed at kids, but it's very funny. I laughed a lot at it. So yeah, go and buy it immediately, everybody.
Lovely
Definitely
stuff.
do that, yeah. And while you're at it, buy a few t-shirts for them.
Luke, while we're at it, mate, as soon as we're just plugging everything we can. Is there anything? Is there any shit that you want to shift? Anything you want to?
I'm not selling anything.
No, you want to get into the merch game, mate.
I know. You guys are pretty savvy. I had an alarm clock once many years ago, but I think it was free. I think it might still be on Apple. Download my alarm clock. It's called Luke's Alarm.
Oh, amazing.
Very nice.
It's like an app, and you can choose how I wake you up.
It's all apps nowadays, isn't it? What are we doing selling physical merch?
I can't move.
And also, mine's free.
Oh, yeah. Well, as long as they're downloading it, I mean, they're not bloody buying our fucking t-shirts. Oh, fucking Jesus.
Matt, you're supposed to say they're selling like hotcakes or whatever. You know, we've hardly got any left.
Sorry. So,
Jesus Christ.
yes, we should. We should maybe do our Patreon song, Ryan. Can you tell them more about that?
Yes. Well, it's just we want to talk about the Patreon, but it's boring, so we like to sing about it instead. Simple as that. But we're a little bit the mouths are a little bit cold and dry. I suppose it's as simple as that. And need to warm up and wet
Is that
up
what you're thinking?
my mouth. Yeah.
So you need something like a little.
You got any tongue twisters?
Well, it's not so much a tongue twist. It's a lovely warm up technique.
warm
It's
up.
a couple. So Ryan, I want you to say this for me. Nigel Mansell's sandal shop shut.
Nigel Mansell's sandal shop shut.
Very good. Very good. Matt, do you want to give that a go?
Nigel Mansell's. Yeah. Say it again.
Nigel Mansell's sandal shop shut. I can't fucking say that.
Nigel Mansell's sandal shop shut.
Oh, very good. And then Matt, if you'd like to say, oh, Luke, do you want to give it a go? Go on, give it a go, Luke.
Nigel Mansell's sandal shop shut. Nigel Mansell's sandal shop shut.
Well, see, that's the
elocution, my dear Watson.
Yeah, but I slowed down. I cheated, I think.
I didn't want to say, but you did, yeah.
We'll speed it up in the edit here.
And this one's all about big vowel sounds. Matt, we'll go with you first. Greg Wallace polished his head to a diamond shine.
Greg Wallace polished his diamond head. Oh,
Greg Wallace polished his head to a diamond shine.
Greg Wallace polished his head to a diamond shine.
I'll allow it. Luke, go on.
Greg Wallace polished his head to a diamond shine.
Oh, see that?
That is
professional.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Ryan.
Professional.
Greg Wallace polished his head to a diamond shine.
Yeah, see?
You
Matt,
can use these before you line with Cage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. Just wandering around saying that. Like, who's this Greg Wallace guy? We've got to get Greg Wallace. Get Greg Wallace on the set. That is a plate of food I would eat.
It'd be nice to get Luke singing along with us, wouldn't it? But I don't suppose he knows the words.
Well,
So,
exactly. Or the tune, maybe. Might know the tune, don't know.
We'll play the jingle and sing along if you want to. If you feel like you pick it up halfway through, maybe for the second chorus you can sing along.
Okay, I'm going to sing along.
Okay.
Here we go.
And a 1, and a 2, and a
1, 2, 3.
4.
Podcast looping nuts are we, making podcasts all for free. But if you'd like to help us too, then this is what you ought to do. On the website Patreon, followed by a.com
/ is the next bit.
They seldom differ, and that's it. Podcast looping nuts are we, making podcasts all for free. But if you'd like to help us too, then this is what you ought to do. Sign up to us and then pay us £1, £3, £5 or £10.
Bonus podcast worth the fuss.
Appreciated by us.
Yeah,
That's
still got
lovely.
it.
Lovely.
Very nice.
You've still got it, Ryan.
Really added a lot there, Luke, actually. I think it really...
Yeah, the backing
brightened
vocals
it
were
up.
absolutely,
And,
were absolutely gorgeous. Now, Ryan, have we got time for a game of Who's at the Door?
Yes, we have. Let's play it quick.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? It's a mystery.
Okay, so who's at the door this week? Ryan, who's at the door this week?
Ooh. Claire Sweeney?
Claire Sweeney, it's a bloody good guess. John, who do you think's at the door this week?
Is it Gordon Lightfoot?
Gordon
Ooh,
Lightfoot, great
nice.
guess, great guess. And Luke, who do you think's at the door this week?
John Fashanu.
John Fashanu. Great. I think he's been before, actually. John Fashanu.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a bit of a tricky one because it was actually Abu Hansa at the door, and I think he was using his good hand.
Oh, yes.
So unfortunately couldn't get the clue there. But if you got it at home, then well done. I want to say goodbye to you guys. I've had a thoroughly enjoyable show. Ryan, a good old-fashioned Ryan Howes, thanks for coming down, mate.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And of course, Sir John Patrick, I hope you've had a nice evening, buddy.
Oh, it's been lovely. Thank you so much, everybody.
And Luke McQueen, from the bottom of all of our hearts, we thank you so much for coming on the show, and I really do wish you the best with the scene with Nicolas Cage and your time in Budapest.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was it was a joy. What a lovely evening I've had.
Oh, lovely.
Well, that's lovely to hear. And I might actually go and eat some lemon zest. Lemon zest.
Lemon rind. Yeah, you should try it.
And thank you, mattskillington.com, the brand.
The brand. Okay, well, I will leave you with this. He's heard us with his ears. He's seen us with his peepers. Luke McQueen's converted to the religion of terrible features. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Do you want to give us a Craig Charles good night?
Good night.
Good.
That was way more like a vampire or a monster.
You have been listening to Seldom Differ's Terrible Features with Matt Skillington, John Patrick and Ryan Howes. Intro and outro theme by Old. You can follow them at Old Music on Instagram. If you want to follow the boys at Seldom Differ, you can get them at Twitter at Seldom Differ, Instagram Seldom_Differ, and Facebook at Seldom Differ Comedy. You should also subscribe at Seldom Differ on YouTube. Thank you to Luke Collins at Appley Bridge Studio for his additional audio work. And thank you to all you Patreon subscribers. If you're interested in supporting us, then go to patreon.com/Seldom Differ. And there you can donate as little as £1 a month, that's 25p an episode, that's not too bad, to £3 plus a month, which will allow you access to all of our bonus material. Please do give us a 5-star rating and a review. We'd be unbelievably grateful. Thanks for listening.
Bang.